Hi guys, it's Mrs. Millison. Okay, we're going to do a couple loops through our 2D arrays to print all of our 2D arrays, and then I'll do another video where we'll write a couple algorithms going through our 2D arrays. Okay, I've got two-dimensional arrays up here, names and ages. Okay, so let's explore our length method to see what it will yield us. Okay, so if I just do names.length, okay, is that going to give me the number of rows or the number of columns? So let's see. Okay, so it gave me 4. So when I just do names.length, so the 2D array .length, it'll give me the number of rows. Okay, so we're going to say, let's write that down. Rows in names. Okay. Then if we do, so array.length gives you the number of rows. Okay. Now, if I pick first row or any row for that matter and find the length of a specific row, like row 0, row 1, row 2, row 3, 0, 1, yeah, that'll give me the number of elements in that row, which corresponds to the columns. Okay. So if I do names in row 0, index 0, and you can do any of the rows, okay? Rows don't have to have the same number of elements, okay? But for the AP test, we will assume all 2D arrays are same, they have the same number of columns, or they have the same number of elements per row, okay? Okay, so if I do this, this will yield me the number of columns or items within the first row. Okay, and it should be all the corresponding rows. So yeah, there's three items in the first row, hence 3 columns. Okay. Okay. All right, so we're going to use this knowledge to loop through and print everything. Okay, so if we do, let's just do a for loop. Okay, we have to do a nested for loop. Print, I'm going to say access. Okay, elements. So we'll do our first outer loop. And of course, we will go on our outer loop will grab each row. Okay, so we'll go through length of the entire 2D array. Okay, and then the inner loop will go through each row by element. Okay, so hence it'll count down the columns. Okay, so now we want J to be less than the whatever row it's in. Okay, so this will be row 0. So it'll be row 0, and then we'll go down the length of that. Okay, and then J plus. Okay, so now you'll go row 1, or excuse me, row 0, and then Liam, Noah, and Oliver, and then go to I equals 1, and then Will, Elijah, and James, and then I equals 2, Ben, Lucas, and Mason, so forth. We'll just print these out. I'm going to print names and then row I and column J. Okay. Okay, let's see what this looks like. And then we'll run. Okay, so you'll notice I had a println statement. So it's just going to print each name, go down a line. Okay, so this is a nice way if you want to take all your items in your array and just print them out. So you'll notice it did Liam, Noah, Oliver, Will, Elijah, James, and Lucas, Mason, so forth. Okay. Well, what if I wanted to print and it looked like a rows and columns? Okay. Well, then I'm just going to take the print ln out here, and after each row, I'm going to stick in an empty line. Okay. Now I know what's going to happen. All my names are going to be smushed together, aren't they? Yep. Need a space. Do a space. Okay. There we go. So now we've got spaces between the names. Okay. Um, anyway, that's how we do our nested for loop so we can print or access all the elements in our 2D array. And again, we'll do some algorithms where instead of printing the element, we can add them up. If they're integers, we could count them. If they met a specific target, we could build that in there. Lots of things you can do inside this part once you have accessed each element of the array. Okay, let's do an enhanced for loop or for each loop. Print the ages. Okay, let me move this down a little bit. Okay, so our enhanced for loop, we'll do for. Now ages are ints, so I've got to give it my, now remember a 2D array is just an array that houses arrays. Okay, so the first thing I'm looking at is an integer array. Then I'm going to go through each element. So here I do have to say integer array, and I'm just going to call it array. Okay, and then this is going to be for ages. And then as I go through and I grab each array, so this will grab the array at index 0, array at index 1, and array at index 2. Then I'll grab each element. Okay. Once we're inside the array, the elements are just ints. Okay. So then, okay. So again, this is going to grab each row, which is its own little array. And then within each row or array, it'll grab each individual element. Okay. Of course, for now, we're just going to print them out. Oh, let me do print. And then we'll do right? And let's do our tab. Space them out a little nicer. Close those. Okay. So this, oops. Oh, good heavens. Let me hide this. Sorry, guys. This should space it out a little nicer. And here we go. Let's see. Oh, what did I forget? I forgot my extra line after each row. One thing I like about coding, you just, every time you do something, you run it, see what it looks like. You don't have to wait till the end or anything like that. You can see it right away. Ah, much nicer, much nicer. Okay. I use my enhanced for loop to do the exact same thing. And I even space it out with the tab. That would be nice. I should tab out my names too. And just don't forget that extra empty line after each row. And again, anything in here, we could count and all that kind of stuff. We couldn't change anything. Remember using our for each loop. If we wanted to look for a target and change it inside the nested loop, I'd have to use a full loop. But if I just want to see the items, count them, or whatever, I could do my enhanced for each loop. Okay. All right, that's how I loop through a 2D array. I hope this was helpful, and I shall see you all next time.